how can you not be romantic about the Kansas State Wildcats? And that's what we're talking about today. Short video today. I want to just talk about the Cats, where they're at right now with the net ranking and what they need to do to sneak in to March Madness. So if you guys aren't into betting, what you need to know is some of the betting apps have released if a team is going to make it into March Madness, some of the bubble teams. Kansas State is one of those. I myself bet that they would, of course. I think the odds were like plus 130 something. Some books had plus 170. Who knows? Basically, people are paying attention to the Cats. They think they have a shot to get in. I think they have a shot to get in. And let's talk about it. So right now, Kansas State is on a 6-0 win streak, and they're going into Provo. A very scary place to be at. BYU is no joke. So why is Provo scary? Well, BYU, the Mormons. No, I'm just kidding. It's not the Mormons. It's because BYU is a very good team. Right now, they're considered a quad one. They'd be considered a quad one win if the Cats can get out of there with the W, which is huge. The Cats right now have 3 quad 1A wins, and they have a potential for a 4th one when Iowa State rolls into town at the very end of the schedule. So right now, I'm going to pull up, so you know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the quads for K-State, what the record is in each quad and how that shapes up. The biggest deterrence for Kansas State to not get into March Madness right now is those 2 quad 3 losses, one to LSU and one to Wichita State. Both big stingers, both not really close games either. Of course, K-State wasn't the team they are now when they lost those games. Doesn't really matter. What matters is they lost them, and that's probably what the committee's going to look at. They're probably not going to care. They might care a little bit. I think they do care that the Cats are hot right now. They definitely care about the 3 quad 1A wins, and it's funny looking at the quads because you see like the quad 1. I think quad 1's the funniest to me because quad 1. There's 5 losses in a row, and there's 4 W's in a row. If that's not a turnaround, I don't know what is. Arizona State, believe it or not, that was actually a quad 1 win because of how the quads work. And by the way, you don't know how the quads work, let me explain it to you really quick. So this is right out of the horse's mouth off the NCAA website, but the quadrants basically sort out teams into how good of a win it is, and it factors in home court advantage. So Quadrant 1 would be home 1 through 30, neutral court 1 through 50, and away 1 through 75. Of course, those being the rankings as in that team's net rankings. So, for example, Arizona State, I believe their net ranking was their net ranking is 63. So even though that doesn't sound very good, because K-State played them in Arizona, it counted as a quad 1 win. That's how it works. Just like, for example, beating Cincinnati at home. Cincinnati is now down, even though they were 16th at the time. It's now a quad 2 win because they're now ranked 47th. So that's how that works. Even though they were number 16 at the time, yes, it's a fluid system. Texas Tech is now considered a quad 1 loss because they're now ranked 8 in the net ranking. See how this is going? What you also need to know is that quad 4 is the really stinky teams. Quad 3 is the pretty stinky teams. Quad 2 is like the goodish teams that wins in there matter a little and losses in there matter a lot more than the wins. And then quad 1 is the bread and butter. That's where you really got to look at and see the best. That's where the best teams are located, where the ones that the losses look not as bad and the wins look really good. And that's what matters because K-State has 4 in a row. They also have a chance to pick one up against BYU. They also, believe it or not, UCF is also a quad 1 team because of how the net works. They're ranked 70th right now in the net rankings. So they would also be considered a quad 1 win because K-State goes on the road to play them. And again, Iowa State is a quad 1. It'd be a quad 1A. So quad 1A is a little bit of separation between the top teams and the very tippity top teams. I believe I don't know if this is official or not, but I believe ranking 1 through 15 is at home would be quad 1A, and then 1 through 25 on a neutral floor and 1 through 40 on a away floor. So BYU actually could be also a quad one. If that is correct, I hope that's correct, and I'm not making that up. BYU would also be considered a quad 1A victory then. The Big 12 tournament in Kansas City is something I think a lot of people might be overlooking, and it really could help bring a lot of value to K-State to finish out this schedule and to put a nice little bow on things, hopefully to boost their chances into getting into the tournament. If you're looking at the net rankings on a neutral floor, which even though it's in Kansas City, it is considered a neutral floor, 9 of the 16 Big 12 teams would currently be a quad 1 victory. That's pretty huge. I mean, so basically it's another chance to you probably if you're K-State right now in the conference record, the conference standings, K-State is at number 7 or 8, I believe. So you probably get one quad 2 opportunity, and then you get a quad 1 opportunity to beat. And that would be huge to put a bow on things. So basically, that would translate to K-State having 5 more opportunities for quad 1 wins. That's a lot. That's huge. But if you can win those out, which you're probably going to drop 1 or 2 of them, but if you could win those out, that would give you a 9-5 record in quad 1. I don't think the committee is going to leave out a team that's 9-5 in quad 1, especially if 4 of those would be quad 1A victories, 2 to Iowa State, 1 to Arizona, and 1 to KU. So yeah, like I said, shorter video today, but I just want to go over the quads. I also just wanted to distract myself from Valentine's Day because the only romance I have in my life is the Kansas State Wildcats. So that's all I got. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you have a great day. If you have any questions about the quad or anything, I'll try and answer them best I can in the comments down below. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you have a Valentine, make sure to make them feel special. All right, peace.